So the date is March 9th, 2025, and it is currently like 2 in the morning that I'm recording this video, which is kind of psycho, I guess. My sleep schedule's messed up. Besides that, if you clearly read the title of this video and can actually read, I am going into the military. I guess specifically the Air Force, if we want to be specific. So, yeah, I guess people always call it the Chair Force or whatever you want to call it, but I'm going into the military. That's the basic idea of this video. So I got my boot camp date and I leave May 6th for BMT, which is a little less than 2 months away now. And I would be graduating June 26th, making boot camp like a little less than 2 months, but to be exact, 7.5 weeks. That's how long Air Force boot camp is. It's the shortest one. And I guess I just wanted to make this video to let you guys know my experience of the whole process, I guess, because I'm currently in the delayed entry program. As of right now, I've been in it for like the past month now, relatively month, I guess. But I started this whole process back in June of 2024. So it's almost been a whole year. You know what I'm saying? It's been such a long process, and I guess I'll just tell you about it. Basically, I wanted to join the Coast Guard initially. That was what I was initially going to do, and that was in June. So basically, it was about a month or so from talking to the recruiter first, and then finally getting a MEPS date, which you have to go through in order to do it, or in order to join the military. But MEPS is a whole completely different other story. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. So I go to MEPS, and I didn't take my ASVAB. Let's just start there. I didn't take my ASVAB, so I had to do both the ASVAB and the medical processing part, which you could either do a whole day process or you can split it up. And because I had the ASVAB that I needed to take, because I didn't take that in high school, I decided to split it up. I live in Pennsylvania, so Harrisburg is where MEPS is, which is about 2.5 hours away from me. So I had to go to Harrisburg MEPS, and then when I got there, you go in, you can't have anything in there. They don't even let you take phone calls. Like, everything is X'd out. Don't think about doing anything. And this goes for any MEPS, not just specifically Harrisburg MEPS. But yeah, you can't even, I got my ears pierced, which, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to hear your bull crap. You can't wear any, I consider this, I guess you can consider it a chain necklace. They're very strict there. So I go there. The first day I take my ASVAB since I split it up, but I'm just sitting there waiting until finally I go back into this testing room where I take the ASVAB, which you didn't know, it's split up into multiple sections. It's really a basic and easy, simple test, whatever you want to say. The part that sucks, though, is it's 2.5, 3 hours long. It's a pretty long test, and it's got all these subsections like science, basic math, arithmetic math, I shouldn't say arithmetic, I should say arithmetic and problem-solving equations. There's 2 different math parts, and basic paragraph comprehension. Just look it up. I don't know. This isn't a video about ASVABs, so just look it up. I got a 75 on my ASVAB, so it's honestly a really good score. I got a perfect score to qualify for a lot of jobs. So I qualified for every job but one, and even if I wanted to, I could get it waivered so I could qualify for it. And this is just the Coast Guard, because the Coast Guard has only 17, 18 jobs to it. So I qualified for all of them, but you don't know this until the next day or later down the road. Yeah, the next day. But after that, when you take your ASVAB, you get done and you head out. And since I split it up, like I said, I got to leave instead of actually taking my medical part or doing it the morning of, whatever. I don't know. I only did a 2-day process ever, not a 1 day. So after that, I went to the hotel, which is specifically for military people. You literally get a free hotel and everything, which is nice. It's definitely not the best, I would say. It gets the job done. I don't need nothing crazy, but maybe for some people, they might not like it. But yeah, it's like a little Holiday Inn place. You go up to like a certain floor that's just military. You talk to this military guy that runs just the rooms and stuff. He's not really that high up, let's say. He doesn't have a high rank or anything, so. But you just got to be respectful, be polite, listen to him. He gives you your room key. You get a good amount of amenities, I'm not going to lie. You get like the pool and stuff if you really wanted to, a hangout area. But nobody's really doing that because it's like a 10 p.m. curfew. I think it's even is it a 10 or is it a 9 p.m.? It's a very early curfew that you need to be in your room by. So it was probably around like 6 p.m. that I got to the hotel, and I kind of just got a free dinner, and you get this like little ticket or whatever, and you go to the dinner, and it's you get a lot of free stuff for it, but it's nothing crazy, like I said. Yo, check this out. Yo, look. This is the room that I got for being at MEPS, because it's got 2-day process. Look at this. Look at this, John. Oh. I don't know if I'm supposed to be loud or not, but yeah. Bathroom. Hey. Oh, I don't even know where the light is. Oh, there we go. Got a little bathroom up in this, John. Little bathroom. Yeah, it's nice. Mirror. Yeah. So yeah, this is about it. I don't really know what else is going on. Oh yeah, a good view. Oh no, that's trash view. No, that's bad. But yeah. I guess that's just the room for right now. I don't know what else there is. So on top of the curfew, you're gonna have to get up early, and you share the room with somebody else. So if you're not comfortable with that, too bad, so sad. Deal with it. Like, there's nothing you can do, bro. So just deal with it. I'm personally a very talkative person. I get along with anybody, so I don't care who or even if I'm sharing a room with somebody. I really don't care. And they're going into the military, so it's like if they try to steal something, they're got to be an idiot. Like, what are you thinking? You're going to steal something and you're trying to go into the military? You got to be stupid, bruh. So you don't have to worry about any of that happening, clearly. Just make conversation, and if that's not your thing, oh well, I don't know what to tell you. Just basically get a good night's sleep that night, because you're going to be up before it's even light outside, like the crack of dawn. I shouldn't even say the crack of dawn, because you have to get up at 4, and you have to be by 4:30. You have to be down for breakfast, which is a free breakfast, and it's actually, I guess it's not too bad. I mean, I pretty much like anything, and no matter if it's good quality or low quality, it's eggs, the basic breakfast, whatever. I don't know. So you eat breakfast, and then that's when you hop on a bus, which this is me getting on the bus, roll that leap. So after you get on the bus, you go on the bus, and it takes you down to the MEPS building, and now you go through your whole medical bullcrap, which takes freaking forever. Then you get like to the MEPS building at like 5 something in the morning or whatever. You arrive there. They're very strict, like I said, once again. So you got to stand in line. You got to check your bags, blah, blah, blah. Just the basic stuff. Just listen. Don't do anything stupid. And you go back to the medical area, and you stand in a long line, and you better hope and pray that you don't pull a me, which by me, I mean going to the bathroom so many times before the whole medical thing, because you're going to screw yourself up and set yourself up for failure. So it might be a little bit differently for everybody, but the order that we went in is we went to the desk, we got our basic paperwork with like all the steps required for the whole medical process. And after that, we went to go check our eyes. We had the vision test first, which is one of the reasons I freaking hated this whole medical thing, because I have horrible vision, honestly, because I wear contacts and stuff. So you do the basic vision test, blah, blah, blah. I didn't do well on it. Let's just say that. I'm not colorblind, though. I did well. I did perfectly well on that, of course. And then after that, you go and do the hearing test in this like very closed off room or whatever. And you go, boop, raise your right hand, or boop, raise your left hand. Just basic stuff like that. I passed out with flying colors. That was so easy. My hearing is clearly definitely working, unlike my eyes. And then as soon as everybody was done, which I had about like 20, 25 people, Sometimes you may have less, sometimes you may have more, but 25 people is still a lot, so it was a long process. Everybody gets done, then you're still waiting. If you're like one of the first people, you're just waiting in this like big room type thing, and you're just waiting for everybody to get done, and then they play a video about basics. Like, they're very strict about like sexual harassment and stuff, which makes sense. I mean, come on. And they talk all about that, and then they talk all about other things, and they tell you that you're going to have to do some stuff that you may not be comfortable with, which I'm going to explain later. But then after that, they tell you all this blah, blah, blah crap, which is important, but it's basic stuff that you should know, honestly. But after they're done telling you all this, you take the drug test, which is the breathalyzer. You just blow and pause. You just blow, and you should be able to pass that with flying colors. I don't know who's drinking before. I don't know. You know what I'm saying, honestly. Then after you do that, you wait in line again, and you're going to get your blood taken, so hopefully you're not scared of needles. And they go up in here, and they go right here, because I had a good vein, which you might be able to see. Oh, yeah, you can. This vein is always poking out, I swear. They take your blood for, I think it's an STD test and stuff like that, so it's just a needle, and it's kind of cool seeing your blood get drawn from a tube, so that stuff doesn't bother me. I really don't care. So it just took time, and that's what was annoying in my opinion. But other than that, this was all easy. And now time for the worst part, in my opinion. Now you're going on to the drug test. So now you have to pee inside of a cup. And like I said before, I used the bathroom so many times. So I had to constantly drink water, like it was like, so I initially tried to go, and it just didn't come out. I swear, like, I couldn't go for some reason. I don't know how to explain it. I just couldn't. And the person that I roomed with for the night, because of course you have the roommate, he was right next to me. He was the only other person that couldn't go. What are the odds of that? Out of all 25 men, I think, or 25 total, but still, you get what I'm saying? So what they want you to do is drink as much water as you can and just walk around to get that to go through you. And I was one of the first, and I turned out to be the second to last person to leave then because of this, because they let everybody else go, and the only people that are stuck behind are the people that couldn't go. So eventually, after all this bullcrap, I finally was able to go back in there, pee inside of a bottle, and of course, there's somebody standing, like one of the people that run the place is standing behind you because they don't want you to exchange piss, I guess. And there's 4 urinals, so like initially there was 3 other dudes because I was in the middle, so 1 dude here, 2 other dudes there, and I don't know, I'm not afraid to whip it out, but I do get a little pee shy, to say the least. But then after that, I was able to go, and it's kind of yucky, I guess, because it gets all over you when you pee in the bottle because it's a very small bottle. But then after that, you're good to go, and then you go inside the little room where you're actually doing your physical, to say the least. And now you're just doing basic stuff, like they check your weight, they check your height, they do the thing around your arm that squeezes really tight and then lets go eventually. I don't know what it's for or what it does. And then after that, you're waiting. You got to take off your shoes and socks. Then you go inside the physical room with just you and a doctor. And then they do all the weird stuff, which is the little ball tap, like boop. And then they make you spread your cheeks to check your butt and stuff. And then they make you do this like weird, like, look at this. Check this out. You have to get down like this and do like a crab walk. And then you have to walk backwards with it. Just like basic stuff. It's kind of weird, but it's really not that bad, to be honest. Very easy stuff, and hopefully you're not embarrassed to do any of that. Just suck it up. If you want to go in, just do it. And then after that, you're done, and that was like a whole 6 hours, honestly. It was from like 5 in the morning to like noon 1 I left, so more than that, honestly. It took a while, and then after that, you get to go home, and now is the waiting game. So what happened is I had trouble with my eyes, of course. So I kind of failed the eye test, vision test, whatever you want to call it. And I had to go see a military special doctor. And of course, once again, it was in Philly. It was in Philly. So I had to drive all the way down there. It was on September 4th. I had to go. And it was like 5 minutes I was down there for, not even. It was like the quickest eye test. Even the eye doctor himself said that my eyes, he's seen people with way worse vision than me and still get in and pass. And this is still for the Coast Guard. Like I said in the beginning, I was in the Air Force now, but this was still the Coast Guard. So I waited from end of July to September 4th to take this eye test. And the doctor said, oh, you're good to go. You're good to go. So after that, it's just another waiting game. So I'm waiting. A week goes by, 2 weeks goes by, and it's finally the beginning of October, around the time for my birthday. And my recruiter gets back to me. And my recruiter never said anything to me before this, which was kind of annoying. Then finally gets back to me because I've been trying to speed this up, because initially I was told an October boot camp date for the Coast Guard. So I was like, let's go. What is going on? And then I was like, it got pushed back a little bit because this eye thing. So, truth be told, they're still waiting on more information after going back and forth with the eye doctor and a higher up in the military. And eventually it came to I was disqualified, meaning that I technically couldn't join the military because of my eyes, which specifically the Coast Guard, because vision is different for every branch. So we have to put a waiver through to pass my vision, blah, 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 whatever else. And this is coming from the same doctor that said I was completely good in the beginning. After hearing that, kind of annoyed and upset because I was hoping to get this done and over with. But now I got to wait even longer. So after that, I wait. It's around like the middle of October-ish, probably closer to the beginning. It's like October 8th, let's say. So I'm waiting a month later now. It's already November. And then I wait even longer. It's Thanksgiving. I'm kind of going back with my recruiter, but she's kind of slow with replies or whatever. And then when she replies, she says still nothing. It's like already Thanksgiving. And now it's December 1st. And I'm like, what is going on? It's a waiver. She told me initially that I was only going to wait a month, maybe a month and a half at the maximum to hear something back about my waiver, if I was either going to be cannot go into the Coast Guard or I can go into the Coast Guard. There's still nothing. So now that it's December 1st, we call up the Air Force recruiter because I'm sick of waiting. I'm tired of this crap. We tell them the whole situation I'm in, and they were like, yeah, this wouldn't be a problem at all over in the Air Force. So, you know what I do? I say, when can the closest or earliest, I should say, next appointment be that I can schedule? And my recruiter, my sergeant, he calls me up, or calls me and my dad up and everybody, and he says December 16th. So, you know what I do? I go ahead and tell my Coast Guard recruiter, you have until December 16th, or not saying, because this really isn't her fault whatsoever, to be honest. But I just text her saying, well, actually, I call her up saying, if I don't hear anything back about this waiver and I'm not waived through or anything by December 16th, I'm sticking 100% with the Air Force, because even the Air Force recruiter said you got to be 100% into this, because there's going to be a lot of paperwork, a lot of stuff, which was just like the Coast Guard in the beginning, and stuff that you got to fill out. So that's what I do. And it's December 16th, and you know what? I still haven't heard a single thing. So my Coast Guard recruiter gets back to me and says, yup, still nothing about your waiver. And this is a little over 2 months of just waiting for this waiver to go through, and I'm sick and tired of it. So I switched to the Air Force on December 16th, and that's when I met. I did some paperwork, blah, blah, blah. I brought back everything that you need, high school diploma, social security card, birth certificate, driver's license, and then I brought back some medical information, which was from the doctor I went to in Philly on that September 4th date. And I'm glad I brought that because that helped out a ton, because it showed that my eyes really weren't as bad as they were making it out to seem. So this sped up the whole process pretty much from December 16th, and this was around the holidays, Christmas, New Year's, all that, blah, 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 I guess. And just some time goes by of just going back and forth doing the basic things in the beginning. And since I already went to MEPS, all of my MEPS crap kind of carried over. And I was basically on like step 3 or 4 now of the whole process. That's like 4 or 5 steps of going from your meeting with your recruiter for the first time to having a ship out date to boot camp and getting your job. So I go through all that, and I actually have to go to MEPS again. They just want to do a checkup, which was at the end of January. They just wanted to do a very quick checkup. It was nothing special. So I did the same process of just staying overnight. I didn't have to take my ASVAB again because it carried over. I didn't have to go through the whole medical process. It was just strictly for eyes, and it was just a quick physical checkup because Coast Guard has different qualifications than the Air Force, and the Air Force makes you take like 2 extra tests in the medical process. So I just had to do that, and then just a quick eye inspection again. All that bull crap. It was a very long process because I also had to do that FBI fingerprints check, which I didn't mention last time, but I forgot. They want you to do fingerprints on all 10 fingers too. So I had to do that over again, and then I actually did my first oath at the end of January because you do 2 oaths, I guess. I don't know how it works because I already went to MEPS, so I was kind of like all over in this process. So it was my second time at MEPS, and I'm just doing the basics again, and it was long, but it wasn't as long. And I also had to do some more like tests in the back. It wasn't ASVAB test, but it was like not a personality test. I already took that. It was like a cyber tech test, and then there was like 1 or 2 other ones. One was like really weird. It was like 2 options, and it's like I like cats or I like woman. It was like one pick you the best option, and it gave you like 2 really weird options. That's just that it didn't actually say that, but that's kind of an idea of what it did say. But yeah, it was just another quick-ish trip, I guess. Another MEPS trip, which kind of sucked because I didn't really want to go again, but I had to. So we did that. We got that out of the way, and then I was officially depped in after going to MEPS. I'm finally depped into something because I was medically cleared after I went to MEPS. So Christmas, all the holidays, and it was December 16th to the end of January, I'm already depped in. And then a couple weeks go by, and like 2 weeks go by, not even, and I'm already, calls me up, and he's like, we got good news for you. And I was like, he said, do you know what it is? And I was like, no, just tell me. And he said, you got your job. Before this, between the MEPS and the couple like mid-February, later February, I had to pick out 8 jobs from a sheet of jobs. And I mainly wanted to do a cyber tech job or a cyber job, which is a 1 Delta job. I think that's what the code is. And the second job I put down, that was the job I got, which is a network operations specialist. So I can say the job I got, but it's a top secret job, I guess. I have to take a top secret test on March 28th. So I can't really say much about it once I get the job and start doing it, I guess. We'll see. I'm still don't know anything. I'm still 100 brain cells away from knowing any military terms or anything about the military. As you can see, it's already like, what would that be? December 16th to, so 2 months into it compared to June to October, November, like, I guess, like October, I should say, of like not hearing anything. It was just a quicker process, and I don't know if it had to do with something of me already going to MEPS and stuff. It probably made it a little bit quicker, but still, and I think it was God's plan, honestly, like him wanting me to change from the Coast Guard to the Air Force, because I did learn in the middle of this, after changing, that Air Force is Department of Defense, while Coast Guard is only Homeland Security, and all the other 3 like main branches are also Department of Defense. So I'm glad I did it, meaning I'll get more benefits and Pay grade's still the same, but I get better benefits. That's what I heard from it. And now I guess it's just been a waiting game. Like May 6th, I have my date. I'm guaranteed the job that I wanted. It's secured. I got it down. I did just initials of the contract because you don't sign the contract until the day you ship out. So like May 6th is when I'll actually sign the contract. And I'm only doing 4 years, blah, 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 just basic contract stuff. So that's that. But I just want to keep you updated with what's going on in the process so you guys can kind of take some thoughts in case you are deciding to do this whole thing too, or whatever you want to do. And I feel like this video is already long enough of me just rambling on. So I don't know when this is going to come out because I hate editing. And because I am also a lazy piece of shit. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.